Day 1128. It's 2 o'clock. I'm at the park. Just got off of a call with one of the speakers at the event, going over what they're auctioning off. And yeah, today I've just felt off, just down, a little discouraged, scared. Like, God, me and my mom have to get out to North Carolina in a week from now. And I don't know how that's going to happen. I also have to pay rent in 10 days from now. My mom has until Saturday to find a place to live, and it's just like it's coming down to the wire. And so it's just like I let the fear take over today, and I just haven't been able to snap out of it. And so I get on this call, and this lady's telling me about, you know, her what she does and the coaching she does for believers, and she has this store, and she's a mom of 8. She's been a believer for 30 years, and she's just like so on fire. And we're just talking about her story, and she's talking about obedience. And God's like, ask her to pray for you. And I'm like, no way, Lord. Like, I don't even know her. Like, that would be so uncomfortable. What if she doesn't pray for people? Like, that I'm not going to be that vulnerable and ask someone for prayer. I'd never ask anyone for prayer. Like, no way. And we get to the end of the call, and then she tells me this story about how she was walking through Target, and she'd got all the stuff in her bag, and she was leaving, and God said, go pray for that lady. And she was like, oh, but I got like ice cream in here, it's gonna melt. And God said, go pray for her. So she turned around, went and found the lady, and she prayed for this lady. And when she was done, she opened her eyes, and she said the guy with her was crying. And he says, you don't understand, she has terminal cancer. And the lady said, you know, this week I asked God for a sign to show me that he hasn't forgotten about me. And you came and prayed for me and showed me that he hasn't forgotten about me. And so in that moment, I knew, okay, I need to be obedient. I need to ask her to pray for me. I was like, okay, I have to be obedient. Will you pray for me? She's like, of course. And she starts praying, and she starts talking about equipping, like, and I'm just like, what? Like, the whole thing, the command that God has given me is equip my people, like bring calling to them and equip them. And she was talking about the journey, my journey. She says, you're going to use your journey as a weapon, and you're going to remind Satan everything that you've been through. You're going to not just remind yourself of what God has pulled you through, but you're going to remind Satan what God has pulled you through. When Satan tries to attack you and bring this doubt, you say, no, Satan, don't you remember, you know, when my mom got delivered from drugs and alcohol? Don't you remember when God showed up here? Don't you remember when this happened? Don't you remember that when that happened? And then she said, God is going to use you as a mouthpiece. And you're going to walk so boldly in your faith, and you're going to speak so boldly because your journey is such an incredible gift that you're going to walk and speak so boldly that mountains move in the spiritual realm. And she said, expect his love to show up in sticky situations. When you get stuck somewhere, like, expect God's love to show up. You just have to expect it. You just have to know it. Because she was talking about how she's like, I expect my dad to show up. Like, I expect him to show up, and he does for her constantly. And so it was like I was in tears. It was just like whatever that was like holding me back and suppressing me and pushing me down, it just broke with that prayer, because I couldn't get out of it. I was like in a funk. So yeah, that was just that was beautiful. Wow, I can breathe. Thank you, Lord. It's crazy. One of the first things she said in the prayer is about equipping. And literally on my battle calendar, it says 4 hours equipping. Just crazy. And she said that we have to equip believers because God told her that the persecution is coming, and that his people don't know how to withstand the persecution. And so that we have to equip them. And I know that I have to equip them because war is coming, and the end times are coming, and believers need to find their calling so they can become warriors, and they can stand in this crazy dark world, because it's going to get worse. So yeah, it's crazy. Amazing. Thank you, Lord.